everyone. Welcome to Scholar Shot's latest live. We are so happy you're here. Going to give everybody a few minutes to jump on before we get started. And while we do that, I want to introduce myself. My name is Kara Sewell. I'm going to be helping moderate this discussion today with Miss April. April, I'm going to let you introduce yourself and what you do with Scholar Shot.
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is April Feach. I am our Director of Strategic Relationships. I work with our corporate and community partners, as well as work with our alumni students.
Okay. And how long have you been with Scholar Shot?
I have been with Scholar Shot it'll be 7 years in July.
Nice. So you've worked with a lot of students.
Yeah, I have, totally.
And that's why today's topic is so great, college graduation or graduate job search tips. So I was asking you before we got started, when it comes to searching for a job, where does everybody stand? I remember sort of just feeling kind of lost.
Right. Yeah, I think it really kind of depends on the industry. Just from my experience working with our students and alumni, those of the students who've had internships and maybe are in a specific industry, maybe like nursing or engineering, they have internships or they have some type of residency where they have that support and that assistance that directly provides them with a role. Whereas some of our students and graduates who maybe have changed majors or careers or in a different type of paths, for example, like social sciences, it's a little bit more of a challenge.
But all of these tips that we're going to be providing for everyone today, I think would apply equally. So let's start with the very first one, and that is updating your LinkedIn profile.
Yes, I do think so many people sleep on LinkedIn. Funny story is I got my job with Scholar Shot through LinkedIn. I had probably used it a few times, definitely not as much as I use it now. And our executive director messaged me actually when I was in between jobs and asked if I knew somebody was interested in the academic manager role. And I was, and I interviewed and I got the job. And 7 years later, here I am telling people to please utilize LinkedIn. Definitely update your experiences, update your skills. And something that I think is not as talked about, which is very helpful, is asking a previous employer or a professor to provide an endorsement for you. An endorsement is really just where they can maybe provide a couple sentences, a couple statements about your skills. Maybe you were a TA for a class, or maybe for an employer, you were, a trainer. They promoted you for a little while. Have them talk about that so that any recruiters or your future employers can utilize that to determine if they want to interview you.
And that's okay, right? To ask directly if you've had a good rapport with someone, hey, would you mind endorsing me?
Absolutely. If you have that rapport, utilize that rapport. Ask them, send them an email if you're not comfortable asking face-to-face, and just say, I'm looking, I know I'm going to be graduating soon. I would love to be able to find a job quickly. I need a little bit of support. Would you mind writing an endorsement for me to include XYZ? And I'm sure they'll be happy to do it.
And when you all are looking at LinkedIn pages, I'm sure you're looking over students in the past and you've been an academic manager and helping them out. Right. What is a big mistake that you see on people's pages, or something they can really polish up? Anything in particular that stands out for you?
Just not updating it. I go through sometimes just people that I know and not really knowing what they're up to now, because the last time they were on there's no picture, or maybe they ended their most recent job on LinkedIn a couple years ago. So it's like, well, what are they doing now? Where are they at? You don't want to have to all of a sudden go back to your LinkedIn because you're in the middle of your job search and you're not having success, and you have to go back and remember, man, what did I do when I first started this last job, instead of keeping it up to date. So definitely keeping it current.
Okay, that's a really good one. And that's easy enough. You can be in control of that. And I know in the past, I have literally, if you have any questions, I've gone on and looked at someone else's page. I think it's really cool.
Absolutely. Yes. Don't invent anything. It's okay to go to someone else's page. Maybe they have a similar role and utilize some of those bullet points that they've done. That's totally fine if you actually have done that in your role.
Right. That being the key point.
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about the next one you have here. Visit career services.
Totally. Yeah. So sometimes students wait till they cannot find a job to go to career services. You definitely should be going to career services regularly. I would say maybe your sophomore year, you're wanting to get an internship that following summer, go in, have them help you with your resume, have them help you with your interview skills and creating a cover letter. I feel like cover letters aren't as prevalent. I don't see them as much anymore, but they're definitely still out there. So you want to get some assistance with that. Utilize that for your internship. Again, your junior year, same thing. Maybe you're going to find another internship. You just want to make sure that they know who you are and you know where they are, and you do not wait till last minute to utilize them, because they also provide jobs. They may have job opportunities listed there, or hey, I know you mentioned last time we met, you said you were interested in this role. I just discovered that there's a role that's very similar. Would you be interested? You never know. They could help you get that next position.
Do you find that a lot of times people may not realize, or students may not realize what career services is all about, or they're not utilizing them to which they can, like the depth in which they can?
I think it's just utilizing the depth you can. I mean, you don't know what you don't know, and career services are there, and sometimes you're not thinking about your career until you graduate. So if we can just change that mindset and say, you know what, I know I'm going to college. I know that I want to get a career. I need to be thinking about right now, the end of my freshman year, if not even the beginning of your freshman year, about what that looks like for me, the help that I need, the support that I need.
I'm adding that. That needs to be like your slogan. Think about your career before you graduate.
Yes, totally.
That's so true.
It is very. That's why we go to college. We want to get a career. And it's unfortunate when, we're struggling and we don't know who to go to. And we've had these resources all along. So definitely making sure students know all of the resources on campus.
Where are career services usually located at on campus?
I think maybe like the student center. Yeah, it depends. Like I went to UT Austin. I believe our career services was, I think it was kind of in like the student building,
right?
Which looks different. There's many student buildings. So, definitely just, I'm pretty sure if there's some type of resource fair, job fair, career services probably put it together. So go to a job fair and maybe see people that are standing around and just introduce yourself and say that you would love to meet with them and schedule a meeting so you can get some more support.
Okay. Our next point up here, when it comes to your job search, ask your professors and your network for referrals. This one is hard for some people.
Yes, but 100% hands down, this is probably my favorite, because you really don't know the opportunities that could come out of this. And I also love this too, because this was my experience. Right out of college, I had a class. It was like a psychology related course. And my professor sent an email and said, hey, this program called Advise Texas, College Advising Corps, are hiring for near peer college advisors, kind of like an AmeriCorps model. And I applied and I ended up getting the job the day after I graduated. And I got that from my professor. So a lot of times students, we kind of separate the two. Well, my professor, they're helping me with school. I graduated. I don't know if I should go to them and ask them for career help. Yes, go to them and ask them for career help. Even if your favorite professor is not in the field that you want to pursue, people's networks are so extensive. You really have no idea what you might get. So ask for help, which goes with this. It's okay if you're struggling to find a job. Ask them, hey, can you help me? Is there anything that I should be doing? Can you look over my resume? What can I do to stand out? Do you have any contacts? Can I practice interviewing with you? Can you help me look over my cover letter? Just so many different things that you can ask for, and they will support you in the best way that they can.
That's a really good point. And I think all too often, maybe you find that people wait a little bit too late as well to start developing that rapport. You want to start earlier on in the school year too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Your professors, ask them. It doesn't matter when, like if you met them your freshman year and maybe you had a good rapport with them, keep in touch with them. Don't wait until your senior year, 3 years later, to ask them for help, or to at least get in contact with them. Keep massaging those relationships. That's super, super important to help you in any phase of life.
All right. So there you have it. I'm going to pop this one right back in. These are your college grad job search tips: updating your LinkedIn, visiting career services, and asking your professors and your network for referrals. Hey, April is living proof that it works.
Yes, two times over, I have been successful in finding jobs with these tips. And I'm still with ScholarShot 7 years later, after being messaged by Dan Hooper in my DMs. So it was wonderful. It was awesome. It's a great experience to be able to utilize your LinkedIn. And I think I utilize LinkedIn is probably my most frequented page, like more than my other social media pages. I'm always on LinkedIn because it's just such a great network. I see people's updates. I get to find people that I haven't maybe known what they were doing in a while. They get to update and it says, hey, I started a new career, such and such. It's just really a great network. So definitely get on LinkedIn. Definitely keep your picture updated, your experiences updated, and don't wait till the last minute to do those things.
If anyone has any questions, what's the best way to get a hold of you besides social media platforms? Is it good to reach out via the contact page on the website?
Yeah, or you can just email me, aprilf@scholarshot.org. I would love to be a support system for anyone who needs some assistance. Right now, some of our alumni that have graduated a couple years ago, I'm helping them find some new opportunities. Would love to help anyone who's looking for something new.
Okay, and I'm adding that really quick just so people, April F, I have that right, don't I? Scholarshot.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, April, thanks so much, guys. See you next time. We appreciate it, and good luck on your job search.